If you're a fan of basketball, then you've probably heard of Cooper Flagg. The Blue Devils superstar has captivated the nation with his exploits in his first season in the college game. A freshman playing like a seasoned pro, breaking ankles, swatting shots, and putting the nation on notice. But to those who have followed his story, none of it is shocking. This is the insane rise of Cooper Flagg, the small town kid who's now the consensus #1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. As far as basketball bloodlines go, it doesn't get much better in the state of Maine than the Flagg family. While both parents played college basketball, Kelly Bowman, the matriarch, was the standout. A hometown hero at the University of Maine, who earned the school its first ever NCAA tournament win in the 1999 edition, was rightfully inducted into the program's Hall of Fame. Therefore, when she started a family with a certain Ralph Flagg, who starred for Eastern Maine Community College's basketball team, there were no questions about what sport their children would play. Cooper was born on December 21st, 2006, just 1 minute after his twin brother Ace, in the quiet town of Newport, Maine. The pair were predictably pushed towards hooping, and, according to Ace, their one-on-one sessions in the driveway would reliably produce blood, sweat, and tears, an early indicator of the Flagg's competitive drive. Coop's gift for the game was evident at an extremely young age, rapidly outgrowing his town of 3,000. By the time he was in the 2nd grade, he played with 4th graders, and by the time he was in the 4th grade, Flagg was terrorizing New England as part of a travel team while obsessed with honing his craft. Fast forward to his 8th grade year, and Cooper Flagg stands at a domineering 6'6" while routinely competing against UMaine players, stunning every single coach he met along the way. NBA champion Brian Scalabrine recalls the first time he encountered the teenage sensation at a scrimmage in Boston.
I know a guy up in Maine and he trains Cooper, and he was like telling me these stories about this, at the time, 13-year-old playing against the UMaine guys. He would start to dominate. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. No way a 13-year-old is better than D1 players. Sends him down. If he can live here, he'll be fine.
Flagg received his first D1 offer shortly thereafter, demonstrating a basketball IQ far beyond his years, which molded him into a uniquely versatile player on both sides of the ball. The games would truly begin when he enrolled at Nokomis Regional High School, his parents' alma mater, as the most hyped-up prospect in the state of Maine. Playing alongside his twin Ace and older brother Hunter, Cooper Flagg's 20.5 points, 10 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 3.7 steals, and 3.7 blocks per game made him the first freshman to win Maine's Gatorade Player of the Year award, while helping his school to a state championship as the focal point of his team. The 15-year-old Flagg was then selected to represent Team USA at the FIBA U17 World Championships, where he was named to the all-tournament team as a gold medalist. He led Team USA averaging 10 rebounds to go alongside 2.9 blocks and 2.4 steals per game, giving him even more momentum heading into his sophomore year. While his freshman effort at Nokomis Regional had generated significant college buzz, Cooper and his brother Ace sought a higher level of competition to elevate their game, eventually settling on the powerhouse Montverde Academy in Central Florida, an institution revered for churning out NBA talent in recent years, the perfect fit for the ever-improving phenom that is Cooper Flagg. In his first season at Montverde, Flagg led the team in blocks and steals per game with 2.2 and 1.6 respectively. Offensively, he was no slouch either, averaging 9.8 points, 3 assists, and 5.2 rebounds a game, drawing even more eyes to the 6'9" teenager with a stunning 7-foot wingspan, a physical specimen with plenty of finesse to his game. A solid debut effort for the Eagles was overshadowed by Flagg's exploits in the summer of 2023, where he drew national attention for his performances at Nike's EYBL Peach Jam tournament in South Carolina. Proudly representing his home state as part of his old AAU team, Maine United, the Flagg brothers set the tournament alight. With a medley of college coaches in attendance, Cooper logged a triple-double in 3 straight games, including a historic 38-point, 16-rebound, 12-block, and 6-assist outing. Crowds were flocking to watch Maine United, a phrase that has only ever made sense courtesy of the generational talent that is Cooper Flagg. NBA royalty was spotted courtside, with the likes of LeBron, Chris Paul, and Carmelo Anthony singing his praises. He finished the tourney with a staggering 25.4 points, 13 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and 6.9 blocks per game. Cooper reclassified that summer, entering his third and final year of high school ball as one of the most highly touted recruits of all time. By October, he committed to the Duke Blue Devils over UConn. Yet, despite all of the attention, Flagg never let his play slip. He helped Montverde to a flawless record and a national title with his 16.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and 2.7 blocks per game. Unanimously ranked as the best prospect in his class, Flagg hoarded just about every possible individual award at the age of 17. It was once again the summer that proved to be pivotal for Cooper Flagg's career, as he became the first college player to be invited to the USA Select team since 2013, set to scrimmage against the US Olympic squad made up of the best basketball players on the entire planet. Just as he had his entire life, Cooper rose to the occasion, turning heads in a game that proved far closer than anyone could have anticipated. That's thanks in large part to the 17-year-old 17 points to go with 2 assists, rebounds, and steals. The kid was 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, both of which came with shot-blocking machine Anthony Davis closing in on him. Before ever playing a second of college ball, Cooper had proven to possess a maturity in his play that made him perfectly at home against the world's finest, who later co-signed his generational talent.
Right here.
Kevin, what have been your impressions of Cooper Flagg so far, going up against him in practice with you guys?
I wish I would have went up against him in practice, but from watching him on the sideline, he looked like a hell of a player, somebody who's just going to only get better with more experience. 17 years old, coming in here playing like he's a vet almost. No emotion, just going out there and doing his job, and that's a good sign.
From one program renowned for its production of NBA talent to another, Cooper Flagg's transition from Montverde to Duke as the crown jewel of one of the finest recruiting classes in program history was completely seamless. He debuted against none other than the University of Maine, with many of his loved ones in attendance, including his mother, who remember was a school legend, and his brother Ace, who had recently committed to the Black Bears. Cooper held nothing back against his hometown team, finishing the game with 17 points and announcing himself with a one-handed slam in front of a packed Durham crowd. Furthermore, the freshman led the Blue Devils with 5 assists, 3 steals, and 7 rebounds, confirming that his versatility would translate to the next level. But this was just the start for Flagg, who cleaned up some early turnover issues to emerge as the favorite for Player of the Year. His magnum opus came against Notre Dame in January, where he set an ACC freshman record with 42 points, going 11 of 14 from the field, including 4 of 6 from 3. Paired with a cool 7 assists and 6 rebounds, it's safe to say that the freshman was a truly dominant force in the college game, named a consensus first-team All-American, ACC Player of the Year, and brought home the Naismith Award. Living up to the hype he had when he stepped foot on campus seemed impossible, but Flagg had proved to be worth every bit of it, as unquestionably the school's best freshman since Zion Williamson. But in the first game of the ACC tourney, Flagg went down with what appeared to be a serious ankle injury, spotted in a wheelchair after the game. His incredible one-and-done season would be all for naught if he were to miss March Madness. He ultimately fought back to full health in time for the NCAA tournament, where Duke swept aside both Mount St. Mary's and Baylor in the first 2 rounds, but faced a much tougher test against Arizona in the Sweet 16. He set the tone for the Blue Devils with an efficient first-half display, capped off by a buzzer-beating 3 to extend Duke's lead. In the second half, he brought even more energy, throwing lobs and emphatically swatting shots out of midair to lead the team not just on the stat sheet, but to victory on the biggest stage of his career. Sure, his 30 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks were hard to miss, but Flagg was elevating his team when called upon. His defensive prowess was on display in the Elite 8 against Alabama, where a high-flying Crimson Tide offense was shut down by Flagg and company. 9 rebounds and a game-defining block on the Tide's star player Mark Sears were evidence of the freshman's competitive edge. His offensive performance wasn't as electrifying as that against Arizona, but Flagg would make up for that in the Final Four. Going up against the best defense in the nation in the Houston Cougars, Cooper Flagg remained the focal point of the Blue Devils' game plan. He helped Duke to a significant lead late in the first half, fighting through contact and a staunch Houston defense for an and one that epitomizes his toughness and never-say-die attitude. While Houston mounted an incredible comeback, and some questionable refereeing will leave Duke fans feeling hard done, Flagg did have the chance to tie the game with a late 3-point attempt, but the ball rimmed out. But you can argue the simple fact that he was willing to be the one to take that shot is a testament to his leadership, explaining his thought process after the game. When the wheels came off the Blue Devils in that second half, Flagg was the last man standing in what was most likely his final seconds of college basketball. Already a lock for first overall in the upcoming 2025 NBA draft, Cooper Flagg's rare blend of size, speed, and game IQ, paired with an unparalleled competitive fire, make him a tantalizing prospect at the age of just 18. Considering the level he's at now, it's easy to forget that he was once just a kid from Maine, living his love of the game at every opportunity. But what do you think? Will Flagg live up to the hype? Let us know in the comments.